Hey everybody, welcome to Fab Fit Friday. Last Friday I was setting up my booth for PatternCon. I'm wearing my PatternCon badge right here. It's very exciting. You can see I was a presenter, a first-time attendee, and a vendor. It was very exciting. Tana needs her Fab Fit Friday fix. Oh, well, I think this could be a little bit of a fun one. I want to talk about, spend a few minutes talking about what happened at PatternCon, because I have to tell you, I have taught at a lot, and I mean a lot of larger sewing events. You know, so sewing events that have multiple classes going on at the same time. I've taught at quite a few. And the vibe and the things going on at PatternCon were so different from what was happening at some of the other events I've taught at. So I just want to talk about that for a minute. And the first thing is, so on the first day, so it was a Saturday and Sunday event, the line for people to enter the ballroom where, you know, morning announcements were going to be and some other things, wrapped all the way down the hall and into the lobby. That's how many people were waiting in line. And if you were on my Instagram, I shared a little video. I did a video running down the line and having everyone wave. The energy was incredible, and it just was so cool. The whole weekend went like that. And my first class was 34 people in the yoga pants class, which was just a drafting class. So basically, hey Diane, welcome. I'm reviewing some things that happened at PatternCon. So I taught 32 people how to fit and adjust their pattern pieces, and then how to draft them from leggings to palazzo pants. That was a really fun class. And then in the afternoon, I taught pants fitting, but I taught pants fitting from picking your size to prepping your pattern, with instructions for how to start fitting at home, because there was only a 4-hour block, so I couldn't do fitting start to finish. But that worked out really, really well too. And I just want to give a shout out to all the attendees who were in my class. The classroom that we had for that class was so small, there wasn't even enough room for the 8 tables and the chairs and the 24 people to be in that room. Luckily, we were right next to the lobby, and we busted the door open and just set up tables in the lobby. So we had like a split classroom. But here's the thing, not a single person got upset. Not a single person complained. It was just so nice to be with such a wonderful, positive vibe, you know, full of energy group of people. So that worked out really well. Another standout for me was I got to meet Aronica B. Cole. And if you don't know Aronica, she's a amazing sewist, but she also is a beacon for body positivity and really, you know, holding pattern makers accountable for being size inclusive. And I listened to her talk and how she views what she puts on and how important it is, and how everyone deserves to have, you know, beautiful outfits, and you should be able to buy patterns in your size. And that really opened my eyes up to some things that I really want to pay more attention to at J. Stern Designs. You know, I've been talking about my rebrand for a long time, and part of my rebrand is going to be grading my sizes up to size 32. And I also want to make sure I have smaller sizes, you know, starting at either 0 or 2, because, you know, I want people to be able to buy my patterns and, you know, find their size and work with it, versus, you know, looking at my patterns and being like, yeah, that doesn't come in my size. That's horrible. So that was very cool. And then also, I was excited to meet Mimi G. Unfortunately, she came down with a really bad cold, but she filmed an amazing an amazing keynote speech for us. And it was all about, her journey and how she turned her love of sewing into a very successful business. And I found that very interesting. She was delightful. I felt kind of bad watching her because you could even see on the screen she wasn't feeling well. So it was, that was very cool. And Kenneth King couldn't come either because he was teaching at Gorgeous Fabrics at the same weekend doing a workshop for her. But he did pre-record a presentation for the PatternCon attendees, and that was very cool too. So it was a very cool weekend of presentations, of classes. There were so many prizes, like people were winning prizes left and right, during the common area times. Hey, Darlene, welcome, welcome, which is very cool. And then on the last day, there was a Pattern Master contest. All of the sewing instructors, except for Stephanie Canada. I got to meet Stephanie Canada. She is a delight. I'll put a link to her channel in the description below when I get off. Such a delight. She emceed the Pattern Master contest, did an amazing job. And just to show you, I ended up winning the PatternCon contest, which I thought was really exciting. Look, I have my first Golden Globe. There it is. Pattern Master 2025, Jennifer Stern. That was kind of cool. And completely unexpected because, to be honest with you, I was sitting on a stage with, all the other teachers who were also very talented. So I was a little surprised, actually, that I made it to the end because everyone was incredible. So it was really, really fun, and I cannot wait for next year. Sign me up. And if you didn't have a chance to go to PatternCon this year, I think I would look out for it. If you're interested in going to in-person sewing events that are very cool, this one had a little bit of lots of things for lots of different people. It sort of housed some smaller niches, like there was vintage sewing, there was upcycling, there was corset making, projector sewing, just so many things. Oh, Victoria, you wish you could have come. You were so close in Statesville, North Carolina. Oh, well, maybe you felt my breeze. I drove there and then I drove home because I brought all my stuff for my booth that I was barely at because I was teaching so much. But it was really an amazing time. And I just want to give a shout out to the VIP volunteers. They were incredible. They helped everybody all the time. And at the end, I think I've never seen a show clean up and pack up so fast. And as a matter of fact, two of the ladies helped me pack up my booth, and one of them organized my patterns in my suitcase by title. And also, they helped me take down my dress rack. It was delightful. So I don't have a single negative thing to say, except for the hotel having some rooms that were just way too small. But again, no one cared, and we just went with it. So it was very, very cool. I want to shout out to Trisha of Creative Costume Academy. She did an amazing job hosting this. And she had two helpers. Caitlin was like the MC. She was like the one that ran the show, the go-to person. She was amazing. And she had another friend there, and I'm just apologizing, I can't remember her name, but she was amazing too. Also very helpful. So it was an amazing event. So there's that. Now I'm going to switch gears to, and I did wear my linen shorts with the silk lining on Sunday all day. So comfortable, so fabulous. I love the way the hems came out. And if you missed it, I did a part 1 and part 2 of how to create a face shaping and a shaped facing and how to construct it, sew it on, and finish it. That was my Fit Tip Tuesdays the past 2 weeks. Hey, Darlene, there was a Liz there. Liz. I'm not sure where she lives, but she is part of my YouTube Insider Club, and I did meet with her. I did meet her. I met so many wonderful people, and I got to meet Sarah Me from So Live. So if you guys follow Sarah Me, I feel like I'm friends with Sarah Me already because we've talked on the phone, we've done Zooms together, I've had her on my channel, but I had dinner with her Saturday night because Carol from Ditto Form was busy doing scans for Ditto Forms for new customers. So I had the opportunity to hang out with Sarah Me. That was wonderful. I'm so happy I met her in person. I'll put a link to her YouTube in the description below when I get off as well. I'll put links to everybody that I talked about when I get off. I'm sorry, I was running a little bit behind schedule today. But anyway, it was just very exciting. All right, so let me switch my view here. I'm going to take my little name tag off now. Okay, so this package came to me all the way from the UK because if you remember, I found one-sided fusible elastic from the sewing chest, but they would not deliver it to the United States. So someone reached out to me. Her name was Heather. She reached out to me from the UK. She purchased it, shipped it to her, and then shipped it to me. So it's been a long time in coming. I did open it to look at it, but I didn't open it because I wanted to open it with you guys. Oh, and by the way, I saw the woman who owns Bra Builders in the United States. She just purchased it from last year, and again, I am not prepared. I don't remember what her name is, but she was wonderful, and I told her all about this elastic, so she's going to try to find it for Bra Builders, and the minute she does, I will let you know. So because I was ordering from the UK, I ordered 10 yards of the white and 10 yards of the black, and let's open it up and look at it here. Now the difference between this and the double-sided fusible that you can get at Bra Builders is that the side that is not, well, I only need, I'm going to use the white, I think, but it does come in white and black. I'm going to use the white on this underwear, and we're going to try it live, and then I'm going to wash it. So here's another fun fact. I'm going to stretch myself out here so I don't have to flip back and forth. I actually lost my underwear pattern. Okay, so I watched my own tutorial to see how I adjusted the hipster pattern when I shared that with you a few weeks ago. So I actually used my own tutorial to start with the master pattern and then change it to my size. So I feel kind of, it was fun watching myself. I never watch myself. It was fun to watch myself. And the reason why I lost this pattern is because I didn't stick it on my Sew Tights. Well, it's a quilt hanging system, but for me, it's my pattern hanging system. I didn't stick it up there. So this is going right on the wall when I get off later so I don't lose it again. Now, the first thing I want to show you here is I've already constructed this, and I constructed it completely on the serger. And I want to zoom in here for a second because I want to show you something. Oh, hello, my little friend. Let me just move me over here now. Because I just want to show you something up close, and then I'll back it back off. And I just want to blow it out so you can see what I'm talking about here. I decided to do a flat lock to sew the liner on, and here is the cool thing. It's got the reverse flat lock facing on the inside, and then if we turn it around to the right side, it also has the reverse flat lock showing there. So I just thought that was a really cool construction to have the reverse flat lock on both sides, and then in the middle, that what is going to be encased by the, when I put this in place, is the flat lock side. So I just thought that was very, very cool when I tried that. And of course I did the flat lock, reverse flat lock side seams. Okay, so there are my side seams. I think this is my favorite way to construct underwear because it keeps everything nice and flat. So now I want to just get this over here so I can show you what else I did. I'm going to turn it inside out. And I just want to show you here on this crotch piece. So after and actually I'm going to make myself, I'm just going to make myself a little smaller. We don't need to be that big. But what I want to show you here is I trimmed off about 1/8 of an inch on each side to reduce the bulk. And this is actually the pink cotton I used to make this pair. And I want to apologize. I forgot to bring my underwear to PatternCon. Someone asked me the minute I walked into the lobby if I had it. And unfortunately, I didn't have it yet. I mean, the minute I walked into the, hold on, I just gotta, hold on one second here. Let me just see. So it was Sandra, sorry, Sandra caught me right in the lobby and she asked if I had my underwear, and I felt so bad that I forgot it because I said I was going to bring it. But I loved, you know, hanging out with her too. And actually, you know, it just, I hope I'm not, if I hung out with you and I forget to mention you, I'm sorry, because everyone I hung out with was so much fun. Kay said, I'd like to overhear that conversation in the lobby. They'll tell that you forgot your underwear. I know. It was really cool. I mean, I love the fact that, you know, I talk about things here on my channel, and then when I go to sewing events, people will ask me about it, which I think is very, very cool. So it was very cool. All right, so here is this. And so I just want to show you basically what I did was I just trimmed off after I cut it. And just for a little tip here, here is the piece, the front leg. All I did, I had made a separate lining piece because there is one in the pattern, but I lost it after I cut it out. I have no idea where it went because it's this lightweight tissue paper and it fluffed off my table and went somewhere. So all I did was line up this to cut the lining out, and I just cut it off here, and then I went and trimmed. And so, like I said, I just trimmed this little bit off to reduce the bulk. All right, Darlene is saying you can burrito roll sew the crotch piece. It works, and you don't have any seams inside. Any seams inside. All right, well, I'm going to have to investigate that. If I had used the sewing machine, I wouldn't have any seams showing. I like this decorative reverse flat lock on the inside, but I will look for that, Darlene. I think someone mentioned that to me the last time, but remember, I had a brain disaster when I was trying to figure out how to layer these to get this to lay right the first time I made underwear. So I'm just proud of myself that now I can just put this together. It literally took me 10 minutes to cut this out and sew this together. So this is what I have, and I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to take some of my KK2000, which is a temporary adhesive spray, and it doesn't have chemicals like the 505 spray has. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use, use this paper here, and I'm going to just gently spray the wrong side of my cotton liner, because again, there's no chemicals, and it will, you know, I'm going to wash these obviously before I wear them, so I think this will be okay. I wouldn't spray the 505 on, but what I want to do is I want to lay it nicely to the inside, and I don't want to have to worry about this shifting, because what I want to do today is try that elastic that's got the plush side. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I think this would have been easier if I did this before I sewed the side seam so I could lay it flat, but I just want to get this laying nice and flat here like this. Okay, and then over here I feel like this is a little bit too far away from the edge. See right here? So I am just going to gently trim, not gently trim, but I'm going to just trim this edge just a little bit so I don't have this big difference right here. So I'm literally just going to go like this, start up here and just gently skim off this little bit like that. So it'll be covered by the elastic. The other thing I did is I trimmed off the 1/4 inch or the 3/8 that I would fold as a casing. So I made it less wide here. Okay, so I've trimmed off around the leg openings. You know, I trimmed it to make it narrower because I'm not turning this under now. I'm just going to leave it like this because the elastic I'm using is single-sided. So let's take a close look at that. Very excited about this because my favorite underwear used to have this basically on it. So now if we look at this, it stretches. It's got a nice firm stretch, and it's got a fusible side, and then it has, this is a very soft plush side. So that's what I'm going to be putting on my leg openings. Very excited. And then for the waist, I am going to try, I ordered from Bra Builders. They have a 3/4 inch wide double-sided fusible. So I'm going to use that for the top and try it. So we're going to see how this all works out. I'm very excited to try this. This feels significantly heftier than the double-sided because it's got the plush. So super excited to try this. So we're going to try it, and we're going to try it right now. Let me just get my... I was trying to think of how I could easily fuse it, and I think I'm going to use my ham to do that because then I can have a shape. So let me just get myself set up here. I'm going to put this like this. And get my iron. So any of you who are watching me from Europe, I'm hoping you can get this elastic. And if you're in the United States, I'm trying to get it here. Like I said, I talked to the you know, the owner of Bra Builder, so I'm hoping she will get it for us. Oh, Sandra, I just told everyone how you asked me if I brought my underwear to PatternCon, and I didn't. Look, it's still sitting here on my table. So, poo-poo on me. But I'm making this new pair out of the other fabric I bought, and I have the double-sided, or the single-sided fusible with the plush. So that's what I'm going to be working with now. And I am recovered. Actually, yesterday, my sister and I had a sister day. We went to Norwich Inn and Spa, and we had massages in the morning. We laid in the quiet room for an hour, and I listened to my book. Do you know how nice it is to not talk for an hour during the day? And then we did the little hot tub, and then we took showers, and we had a yummy lunch. So actually, that was very nice and very... you know, I kind of feel like I needed that because it was a lot of driving. I didn't get home until, you know, Tuesday afternoon from PatternCon because I had to stop halfway because I drove. All right, let me just, this... You were sad, but it was a great icebreaker. It was an icebreaker. And you know what? I love walking into a lobby and having someone, you know who I am and then ask me a fun question like that. That made my day. So there you go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn my underwear inside out. And, oh, of course, Sandra, if I had been wearing my underwear, I might have flashed you. So maybe it was probably better that I wasn't wearing it. All right, so I'm going to put it on like this. I'm just going to, because I want to have the sort of the circular shape of the leg here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, I don't want to start here because it's already a little bit bulky, you know, where the seam is, but I'm going to start like right here, and we're just going to lay this on like this. And I'm going to start fusing. I'm very excited about this. So I think the goal is to have it be right on the edge. So let's see. Okay. And then I'm just going to keep working my way around. I'm not stretching the knit. I'm just letting it lay flat, and then I'm, you know, covering it with this fusible elastic. I think I have to do it a little at a time. Oh, you drove from Statesville back to Virginia? Oh, that's cool. The other thing that happened that I was very excited about is I have a friend who used to live in Connecticut with me, and she moved to Virginia, and she's near that lake / river that Thomas Jefferson, Monticello River or Monticello Lake. She lives on the opposite side, but she lives there in Virginia, and that's where I stopped on my way down. So I got to visit with her too. So the whole thing was just such a fun fest. Oh, Sandra says, I'm still trying to wrap my head around your non-stretch to stretch class. It was mind-blowing. All right, so think of adjusting a pattern that's made for non-stretch. Think of it like you're just taking out all of the extra paper that you don't need because you figured out the percentage of stretch. So instead of just taking it on the sides, you take it out from within. Think about it like that. Maybe that'll be less mind-blowing. You know what I really think? I think if you physically try it, like get yourself a pattern that you want to try, I think that makes it easier to understand, like physically going through the steps of, you know, trying to do it. Because once you try to do it, you'll kind of be like, oh, you know, I get it, blah, blah, blah. And then the other thing is you can, once you make your first test garment, you'll see, how things are fitting, and then you'll be able to make fine adjustments. So this is going on like a dream. I love this elastic. I hope it's comfortable. All right, so I'm going to cut this so it looks like I'm not going to cut it till I get a little closer. I want it to match up perfectly here. I'm going to use my tip of my iron to get right on it here. Maybe I'll do a little stitching there, like a little, to keep the edges together. Sandra, what was your favorite part of PatternCon? Like, what was the funnest thing you did? It doesn't have to be J Stern Designs related either. Like, tell us like what you thought was very, very cool. All right, so I can see I'm going to have to stitch this together. I'm going to use a little zigzag stitch to stitch the ends together. Okay, you can see there's where the ends are. See, look at how nice this elastic stretches. And look, it's got like a nice clean finish on the outside. Isn't that nice? And there's my inside. See? So I'm going to wash this before I try it on. And I'll let you guys know next week how that worked out. But I am kind of excited that I have this elastic. Oh, let me do it this way. I'm going to start over here this time. I don't think it matters. I'm going to start right here. Oh, I probably should put it the same place actually. All right, so I'm going to turn this like this. So I'm going to start right here. So it's about the same place I started on the other side. You know what's nice about this? This knit has a little bit of a curling edge, but because I'm just putting the elastic right on the edge, I don't have to deal with the fact that it curls. Yes, Kay, a vanishing edge finish. That's what I'm trying here. Very excited about this. You know, I don't have to turn it up and make a casing, which I'm hoping will just make it a little less bulky around the leg openings. Okay. All right, so, and just as a little, if you're wondering what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 weeks kind of moment, I'm actually going to be embroidering golf flags. I don't know if you remember last year, there's, my brother works at the Portland Golf Course, and there was a fundraiser for hospice health, Middlesex Hospice Health. They do it every year. And last year, I made all the flags for the sponsors. And I'm doing it again this year. And I thought I had like September. No. I have until September 9th. And I have to make 39 flags. So I'm going to be revving up my embroidery machine. And that's what I'm going to be working on until they're finished. Almost exclusively. I mean, I obviously will do a Fit Tip Tuesday and a cool tool if I can get myself together for it, but I have to get these flags finished. And it's even more special to me this year because my mom was taken care of by Hospice Health last year, and they did such a wonderful job. You know, I feel like it's extra special this year to be part of that. So, you know, I want to be doing this. So I'll be revving up my embroidery machine. So that's what I'll be working on. Maybe I'll wear my new underwear while I'm doing it. Oh, no panty line. That is the idea of this, like no or less panty line. Okay, and this is a piece of organic cotton that I got from that Nature's Fabrics. So I'm kind of happy I'm using it now to make underwear. And again, I'm just gonna, see, I'm fusing it like this right up to the end, and then I'm gonna trim it using my wonderful LDH scissors that Pat sent me. Okay, and again, I'm gonna zigzag in there to finish that off. Now look, I still have a lot more. I'm so excited. It would have been yucky if this came to me and I didn't like it, because I did order quite a bit of it because I knew it was coming, you know, all the way from all the way from Europe. All right, so this is how it looks. Okay, this is a plush side. There's nothing to peel and stick. So I'm going to wash it and see if it becomes less. It looks a little stiff to me right now. So I'm going to wash it and see what happens. But you can see it's very stretchy. Okay, so I am excited. What I'm going to do for the waist is I'm going to get out my Bra Builders 3/4 inch elastic. So this is 3/4, and I'm going to do the same thing. Let's start in the back. This I think I can do flat. I am just going to start fusing this on right around the edge. I think I have like a little funny lip here. I'm just going to trim this right here. It looks like it's bumped up a little bit. I'm just going to straighten this out right here. There. Okay. There we go. So see, it's nice and straight across now. Victoria's saying, I hope she will like it. I bought my 8-year-old granddaughter her first embroidery kit for Christmas. Oh, I love that. My 8-year-old granddaughter has said to me she wants to learn how to sew too, so I'm gonna have to buckle up and teach her. That'll be fun in the winter when, you know, it's cold outside, or not even, whatever, like we like to go outside and do things when she comes, so I feel like when it gets a little cooler, that'll be a fun project to, you know, help her or teach her how to sew. I'm kind of excited she expressed interest in that. Okay, hot, hot, hot. Now remember, when I fused this the last time, I didn't fuse it hot enough. So I've got my iron set all the way to the highest setting right here. Oh, you know what I'll do? I will stick this tail. See right here, I'm going to stick this tail right in under the elastic, like this. And I'm just working in a small section at a time here. Okay, I'm just going to keep going across the front. And again, this fabric wants to curl, so I'm just so happy I don't have to deal with the curly whirly bird of this. I'm hoping this works out. This will be the answer to all my things. I'll be making myself a full drawer of underwear if this works out the way I'm hoping it does. Okay, so again, I'm going to cut this serged tail, my tail from my serging, and I'm just going to make sure it's like in there. Okay, I'm almost around. Okay, now we're back at center back, and I'm just gonna, ooh, that's hot. Hot, hot, hot. Just gonna cut this so it kind of matches here. I'm gonna cut it just a little bit longer, and then I think what I'm gonna do, this part's cool, so I'm gonna peel away a little bit of this paper right here. So when I put this on, it'll be right against the other end of the elastic. So see, I'm kind of joining the elastic there. Does that make sense? I'm just gonna fuse that on like that. This is going to be exciting. I'm very excited. I want to make sure I get the very end without gooking up my iron. All right, so now I'm just going to let this cool. I'm going to let it cool off, and then I'm going to peel the paper, and then we're going to press it down the second wet time. Now, here's another thing. I'm going to experiment with using this double-sided fusible elastic to hem my yoga pants, because that could be cool too, right? Like if you, you know, if you if you can hem your yoga pants with this stuff, that could be very cool too. So I'm just going to finger press it. I can feel that it wants to stick to itself. So before I do any ironing, I'm just going to turn the whole waistline under that 3/4 of an inch like this. And then we'll fuse it flat. So I'm just folding it and finger pressing it so it's flat like this. All right, let's just look at it before I do anything. So see how kind of cool that is? It's nice and flat. So now I think I'm just going to go like this. Oh, I'm so excited about this. It's like everything is zero, you know, vanishing edge and very lightweight waistband because it's fused. So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm doing both layers at once. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but that's how I'm doing it. Oh, I'm very excited about this. All right, so what do we think? I think I'm excited. I can't wait to get this in the wash to see. And like right here, see how it's bumping up right there? I think I'm just going to use my little LDH scissors to trim that little bit off that was extended past where I put the elastic over here. So I'm just going to trim that very carefully. It only happened in this one place. So see, I just even that right out. Right there. Yeah, so look at this. I have a pair of underwear. Okay, and it's all finished. Ew, the white is showing. Well, maybe I'm gonna have to practice. That's not ideal. But again, maybe I have to make sure that the fabric just shows a little bit. You know, this is my first test pair trying out this elastic, but I'm going to wash it and see what happens. And honestly, if you know, if there's a little white showing on the inside, you know, who's going to see that besides me? Nobody. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a oops. Feel like over here it needed a little more pressing, but I'm gonna zigzag right here to shut that, and then I'm gonna throw it in the wash and see what happens. I'm gonna see if it stays on, and if it doesn't stay on, I will sew it. But I want to try. Oops, well, that's not nice. I have a little boo-boo here. So what do you do if you have a boo-boo? I think what you do is you heat it up. So I'm not pressing right now, I'm just heating up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it out and fix it. Oh yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can fix that little boo-boo. Oh yeah, so I can. So if you get it to not lay right, you can heat it up. Okay, and then, oops, and then refuse it. I mean, you know, fuse it again. So see, now it's all better there. It's all gone. All right, so look at that underwear. No sew finish. All I had to do was sew my side seams and the crotch piece. I am going to do a little tack, you know, a little zigzag right there and a little zigzag right there to cover the edges of the fusible elastic to make it more durable. But then I'm going to throw it right in the wash and see what happens. Very exciting. So, yay. All right, so that would be what I want to do today. say? All right. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I will, when I get off today, I'm going to just put links to all the people that I talked about who have channels here, like Sarah Me on So Live, Aronica B. Cole, and anybody else I can think of that I talked to who has links. I will put links so you can check them out because you want to spread the love. So anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying these last couple weeks of summer. It was pretty cool here today. I'm afraid that my water in my pool might become too cold to actually float around in very soon. Like it might even be too cold today. But we are going to have some 80s this weekend, so maybe I'll have a chance to float some more before I have to, before I have to shut it up for the season. But I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to come and watch me today. And I loved it when Tana said that she had to get her Fab Fit Friday fix. That warmed my heart, Tana. So if you're still here, listening, thank you. And I want to thank everybody who takes the time to come and hang out with me. So thank you guys so much. If you have any questions or comments, post them below and I will help you. And next week I will show you the washed version of this. I'm going to play with maybe a better way to make sure my elastic stays on the inside because I can see it on the right side a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to wash these and see what happens. I'm super excited. So anyway. All right, so I'm going to go now, and you guys enjoy your weekend, and I will see you next week. All right, bye-bye.